Welcome everybody to Keeping It Real Basketball. Um, Typically, we like to look at what's going on in basketball news and try to keep it real. Try to analyze things that are going on. So that's what we're gonna do today. Obviously, what's been in the news recently, which is Robert Sarver, and we're gonna basically look a little bit of his crime and punishment. That's what we're looking at today. Yes, we're looking at his crime and punishment. What was it that he ended up doing? I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about it. What happened with Robert Sarver, the situation that happened with him, and what the NBA did about it, and how there's like basically a lot of people that are upset about how the NBA handled it, including myself. I personally think that the NBA completely mishandled, or if you want to say it, dropped the ball on this situation. So let's look a little bit at exactly what Sarver did. So these ones I got, I think, from the Athletic, a couple of other sources that I used. But one of the things, according to this, is that he used the N word 5 times, and obviously this is problematic just because that's where there's no place for that anywhere. The other problematic thing about this is that this supposedly happened 5 times, but just like anything, uh, I would say maybe caught 5 times and, probably used it a few other times before that, or, during that time. So, um, my thing is people who use those type of words, they don't only use it once or the one time that you hear them. It's not the only time that that happened, that occurred. So that's how I see this. So this already is pretty problematic. So, and again, this is another example. It gives you like 2016 complain about not being able to use the N word, which again, completely out of touch with what's going on in the world. And honestly, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he doesn't look that old to the point that he should still be stuck to, um, you know, pre-civil rights era. So again, it's very surprising. Um, so again, he complained that he couldn't use the N word. Um, and another one is the fact that he also, um, engaged in, it says right here, inequitable and demeaning conduct toward female employees. And I think this was the case where um, a female employee could not, she was pregnant and she could not complete a task because obviously um, she was going to be, you know, probably on maternity leave at that point. And his point was, well, why, I guess, give it to you if you're not going to be here. Now, just like anybody, we've worked at places where, people go on maternity leave. And typically what happens is, uh, s- you know, the person who's going to go on maternity leave usually, um, let somebody know, okay, this is what I'm working on, and then passes a project to another person who would be able to help out. It doesn't mean they're completely off the project. This is probably how that should have been handled, but instead he said, "Hey, you're completely off the project." And the other thing that he was also doing is, and again, it says 6 times when he made vulgar or sexual jokes to employees. Again, I just like anything. Typically, there's a pattern for people, and I feel like yes, there are people who make those jokes, and I feel like maybe 6 times was the only time that people remembered. And typically, like I said, there's a pattern with people like this, and if it's they say 6 times, I'm almost 100% sure that it happened more than 6 times, just like the previous situation. Um, so, like I said, it's very concerning. So these are the crimes, and again, made employees feel uncomfortable. And again, going back to that previous one, um, it's again that situation where you feel lucky to have made it to a job like that, and if you say something, you're afraid that you're basically going to be blackballed. And I'm assuming that that's the reason that this didn't come out sooner, or nobody really wanted to say anything. And to me, the worst one is well, actually, I can't say that, they're all bad. Um, but this is just, to me, just crossing completely at the line. And it's again, somebody was giving him a fitness check, and he drops his underwear and exposing himself. And like I said, this is, you know baffles me how somebody, there's no way somebody like this would continue being a boss somewhere, any other industry. So these were basically his crimes. This is what he did, or some of the things that he did. So what did he get for that? He basically got suspended for 1 year, fined 10 million for racist, sexist, and misogynistic statements over 18 years. So again, the all those different things that we went over. My belief is that that was a pattern, and obviously my belief is that it happened more times than what is being stated, just because it's natural life, even for me, or anybody. Things happen and you tend to forget some of them. There's some that'll stand out more. And my thing is that this happened a lot more. And it's more, like I said, a pattern of what this person was doing over 18 years. And I mean, again, I'm amazed that nobody said anything. Now, one of the things that really bothered me is that his punishment came out, um, and to me, it really was more of a slap on the wrist, because 10 million for a guy like this is basically, uh, 10 million for a guy like this is like 10, maybe let's say $20 for most people, for a regular person. And for him, it's just like, okay, 10 million, there you go. There's your 10 million. It's not really going to be something that's going to make him think about what he did. And being suspended for 1 year is basically being given a sabbatical, or a vacation for 1 year. And my feeling is that this guy comes back in a year, and he's going to come back emboldened. And it's also the situation where this guy, I'm assuming if he's doing this, he probably more than likely came from privilege where nobody ever told him this is wrong, you can't do this. Type of situation where you get a parking ticket, you get a speeding ticket, and it's just basically just throw money at it, and everything will be okay. So to me, this is basically what happened here. Is he um, did something wrong, slap on the wrist, and then go back to life as usual, no consequences. So this is why it really bothered me when Adam Silver came, and because obviously it was being questioned. It's like, wait a minute, how does this guy get 1 year suspension when Donald Sterling, pretty similar cases, we'll go over that in a little bit, but pretty similar cases as far as racism is concerned, and this guy gets 1 year suspension, whereas Donald Sterling got a ban for life. And the thing is that Adam Silver said, according to this, that totally different cases. And the way that he saw it is like, look, they're totally different cases, almost like downplaying how bad Sarver's case is. And I agree that they are different cases. However, I see I see Sterling's case, or actually Adam, I see the way I see it is that Robert Sarver's case is a lot worse than Donald Sterling's case, and thus should have gotten a lot more punishment than what he got. It should have been a ban for life, just like Donald Sterling did, and I don't understand why Adam Silver decided not to do that. So um, let's look a little bit at Donald Sterling. Now, this is what Donald Sterling did, and he also had a history of racism. So you guys could see at the top, uh, a lot of the racism seemed to be off the job. This is why my belief is that Sarver's case is worse than Sterling's, is because if you guys remember the tape that came out, you know, um, no place for it. But if you guys remember, it was a personal conversation between him and his assistant slash girlfriend, and it came to light. It was supposed to be a personal thing, um, so that's the reason that I see that the case with with Sterling and Sarver, while similar, to me Sarver's is a lot worse because what he did is over a longer period of time, and it created a toxic work environment that's 100% related to the job, to the NBA. So to me, that's why they're really, honestly, Adam Silver should have thrown the book at him, just like he did with Sterling. I don't think he should have done any less to Sterling. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. My problem is that he failed to do that with Sarver. Now, obviously, if you guys have been watching the news, there's been a lot of controversy because people are understandably upset, just like I am, that Silver is really not didn't do what he was supposed to do. So this takes me to this. So the question is why? Why did Adam Silver decide to do that? Now, this is my theory. It's just my theory. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it for what it is. This is just my belief. So this is not corroborated. It's just my belief. So, like I said, take it for what it is. My theory is that we are gonna have. There is a rumor that the NBA is gonna expand. There's gonna be a team in Seattle. It's gonna be a team in Las Vegas, and everything will be happy. Okay, especially Seattle that hasn't had a team in a while. Now, my thing is that maybe the NBA and Silver believes that, you know what, if we if they get rid of an owner, another owner comes in. It might be that this owner, just like I believe the owner for Vancouver, the Grizzlies back in the day, decided to move his team, just like the Supersonics, uh, owner decided to move his team. Maybe they get a new owner, and that owner might decide, you know what, I want to move somewhere else, and might throw a wrench into the NBA's plan for expansion. That's one theory I have. You guys let me know what you guys think about that. That's one theory I have. Now, the other theory is just economy related. Back when when this happened with Donald Sterling, there were so many famous people, uh, billionaires, just waiting, pouncing on the chance to take over the Clippers. Um, I remember Magic Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, Floyd Mayweather, I think was another one. All these different people who were just jumping at the chance to become owners of an LA team. And again, this was 2014. The economy wasn't great, but it was doing okay, so it was kind of recovering. Whereas now, maybe Adam Silver thinks, you know what, it might take a little bit longer to get an owner. Um, it might be that type of situation. If you guys know, inflation is, affecting all of us. Might be that they're like, you know what, that might be somebody who might have been willing to come into it. Suddenly, maybe they're not so willing to come into it because their business is not doing so great. The economy is kind of uncertain right now. There's the stock market that keeps going up and down. So my thing is, maybe Adam Silver just thought, you know what, let's give it a year. Maybe it'll blow over. And if it doesn't by then we'll get an owner. Hopefully, things will be better economy wise, and there will be more people interested in buying this team. But that's my theory. My theory is that the reason he didn't throw the book at him was because that obviously would require them to, um, it would bring in the problem of maybe having to move the new owner potentially wanting to move the team, which would throw a wrench into their plan. And the other reason potentially is that maybe there's not a lot of interest. and that's not good, you know. So I think he thought, you know what, give it a year, and hopefully things will be better in a year, either because people will forget, or just because, because somebody, the economy might be better, and then somebody will at that point be interested. That's again my theory, which is not based on any fact. It's just my theory. So Sarver's crime is he created a racist, sexist, and misogynistic working environment. And obviously, the punishment was that he was given a 1 year sabbatical and $10 million fine, which to me, like I said earlier, did not fit the crime. He should have at least been given a ban for life, and the $10 million fine. Even though I complained about it, I understand that that was the maximum that they could give, but I understand the $10 million fine, I guess, but the ban for life as opposed to 1 year is what it should have been. Okay, so right, you guys let me know what you guys think. If you like the content, like and subscribe. Talk to you guys later.